I'm Jameson, the Kilted hiker, and on this channel we explore the wild corners of Cascadia. But today, we're going to be stepping into one of its urban hearts. Seattle sits right in the center of the Salish Sea, where mountains, forests, and saltwater all collide. It's a city shaped by movement, on its waterways, on the trails weaving through neighborhoods, and wilderness never too far from reach. Compared to Vancouver's towering peaks or Portland's river valleys, Seattle feels like a meeting point, a place where the entire Cascadian landscape comes together. Today, we'll explore some of that landscape in a different way, walking the Burke-Gilman Trail through Fremont and visiting Gasworks Park, wandering the neighborhoods and parks of Capitol Hill, and making our way down to Pike Place Market, the Waterfront, and the Seattle Center. Of course, we'll be making frequent stops to hydrate and taste its bounty, taking in some of its unique fauna and flora along the way. So let's get going, shall we? Coming of age in the 90s, Seattle holds a special place in my story. Case in point, here's Jameson in high school. The grunge scene didn't just shape the music I listened to, it shaped how I saw the world. My friends and I would make regular trips into the Emerald City, chasing that raw sound. Bands like Mudhoney, The Screaming Trees, and others carving their own lane like Sky Cries Mary. These trips were always an adventure, especially with this guy, a bit of a partner in crime back then. I'll share a song in the next sequence that was inspired by him. These days, music still draws me back. Wild Fox and I are spending a couple of nights here, catching shows at the Paramount Theater and Monorail Hall, the Swell Season, and Andrew Bird with the Seattle Symphony. I can't use their music here for obvious reasons, but I highly recommend you adding them to your playlist. In between shows, we'll be exploring the city the best way we know how, on foot, logging in more than 10 miles along the way. Before heading into downtown, we'll swing through the Fremont neighborhood for a stroll along the Fremont Cut. This narrow channel is part of the Lake Washington Ship Canal, where boats still have the right-of-way, and the city quite literally stops to let them pass. The trail we're walking, the Burke-Gilman, follows this canal through Fremont before winding its way east through the city. It's a rail trail, built on the old bed of Seattle, Lakeshore, and Eastern Railway, which ran these banks back in the 1880s. Today, it stretches more than 20 miles from Ballard to Bothell, one of the most heavily used walking and cycling corridors in the Pacific Northwest. This is the Fremont Bridge, the most frequently open drawbridge in the United States, rising dozens of times a day as boats move between Lake Union and the Puget Sound.
long. If you find heaven, you give them some hell. You were my best friend. That was a long time ago. It's time to take a sword. Step out into the garden. Set foot into the soil. This rain will fall. This sea down into the soil. Bring color to my garden. Bring life into this world. If you said this sea, it will take you anywhere. It will lead you on and on and on and on until your life becomes a
So we're gonna cut across the road here and visit Gasworks Park and kind of walk the outskirts of it. So we'll have a little bit of scenery on the way back. Let's do it.
long time ago.
It's hard to imagine now, but this place was once a working coal gasification plant, operating for 50 years from 1906 to 1956, producing the gas that literally lit and heated the city of Seattle. What it left behind wasn't just machinery, but heavily contaminated ground. Decades of superheating coal and sealed ovens left the soil saturated with tar, oils, sulfur, and arsenic. The kind of legacy many industrial sites quietly carry. And yet, instead of clearing it away completely, the city chose a different path. Landscape architect Richard Hogg championed a radical idea. Don't erase the past, fold it into something new. Using early bioremediation techniques, essentially using microbes to break down the toxins in the soil, his team detoxified much of the land. The industrial structures were preserved, not demolished, and the hill we're walking around now, known as Kite Hill, was literally built from the contaminated rubble and debris that once stood here, capped with soil and open to the public in 1973. It's one of the earliest examples of what we'd now call adaptive reuse, a city reckoning with its industrial past, not by erasing it, but by folding it into something new. Gasworks Park is now on the National Register of Historic Places, and it holds a unique distinction. It's the only remaining coal gasification plant in the entire United States. And in a place like Seattle, that feels fitting. A city shaped by water, by industry, by movement, but still deeply tied to the natural world around it. From here, you can see it all come together. The skyline across Lake Union, the boats moving through the canal, and the quiet spaces in between. It's not untouched wilderness, but it's very much part of the Cascadia story.
Of the world to do, but it all comes back to you. Heavy-handed, drinking till you're gone with all your strange romantic words. Take a fall, how you always took a fall, no fear how anything would end. But in the end, oh, your life began to dim. Oh, gaping in a hole, and you left it all with the wolves at your door. Heavy-handed, drinking till you're gone with all your stranded words. Take a fall, how you always took a fall. No fear how anything would end, but in the end, your light began to dim. Lack of oxygen. Let's get wasted and while away our waking hours. Let's get wasted and dance the night away. Can you taste it as daylight dawns, that sinking feeling? Can you erase it like the throbbing in your head? Ways and idle days are gone. Since you belong, it's gone. You never laughed, but if you had, it's gone. Poor wretched friend, you're gone. On brighter ways and idle days are gone. Since you belong, now it's gone. You never laughed, but if you had, it's gone.
Good morning. We are up fairly early for having no plans. We're gonna go explore maybe to the east, Capitol Hill neighborhood, try to find a good little breakfast joint, some coffee, and then we'll come back and regroup. We have the Airbnb until noon, so we'll come back, get our stuff in order, and then maybe walk down to the Pike Place Market, and from there the Waterfront, and maybe follow that trail up north to the Seattle Center, take the monorail back. That's the rough plan today. So just explore the city. We have all day. Concert tonight's not until 7:30. We have dinner reservations at the Wild Ginger, which is pretty much right across the street from Monorail Hall, at 6 o'clock. So we've got about 11 hours to explore and see what Seattle has to offer. So we're following Denny Way all the way up to a place called Glow's. Denny Way stretches all the way down to the Pike Place Market, but it also goes across I-5 and up into Capitol Hill. Turns into residential. There's it's a mix of big buildings and funky houses. After breakfast, we make our way across the street to Cal Anderson Park. A reminder that even in the heart of the city, green space is never far away. What's easy to miss is that, like Gasworks Park, this actually sits on top of the old Lincoln Reservoir, once part of Seattle's early drinking water system. Today, the reservoir is covered beneath our feet, and the space above has been returned to the public. Here in Seattle, access to the outdoors goes a step further. Programs like Trailhead Direct connect the city to the mountains, giving people a way to reach some of the region's most iconic trailheads even without a car. On summer weekends, you could catch a ride to places like Mount Si, Mailbox Peak, and the Issaquah Alps. And the cost is surprisingly accessible, about $2.75 each way, $1 with an Orca Lift card, and free for youth under 18. I'll leave a link to this program in the video notes. And now, back to our morning walk. Okay, so we're doing a brief little rendezvous with the car. It's always a good day when the car's still here in Seattle. No graffiti on it. We are going to now make our way down to Pike Place. It's about 11, quarter after 11. We'll do a little tour, do the tourist thing, see the fish flying through the air, maybe visit a cheese shop, you know, Seattle. Raindrop in a long while. Used to be Jerry's fail to reach this heart of mine. Smelled through the source for generations. You opened up the floodgates, but the land behind was dry. And now we're running out of time. Is failing for the first time. A barren wound, a hollow tomb. Now it's a howling sun that's beating down. It's tearing up the roots of this here farming town, and now we're running out of time. River level rises to attention, where the sandbags hold
this rain that's beating down is filling up the streets of this here Texas town. And now we're running out of time. Yeah, we're running out of time. Yeah, we're living in a world that's crying.
So the Edgewater bar was closed for a special event, so we're gonna just walk up to the some random bar that's up
That's what it's called.
there.
Some random bar.
That's what it's called. Some random bar. So some random bar was not open. So we're gonna continue on up. We're pretty close to the Seattle Center at this point, so we're just gonna head up there. We're kind of in a dead zone. There's some nail salons around here though.
It's zoned for the time too. 2:30 on
Yeah.
Thursday. There's
Yeah,
lunch
most
going
places
on.
don't open until evening. But yeah, we're just gonna head up the hill here. The Space Needle's in sight. And maybe we'll just hop on the monorail and take it down to Westlake where things are a little more happening and find some refreshments there.
Yeah.
Welcome to Seattle Center Monorail. Please take a seat or hold on to the handrail. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the ride.
All right, well, we made it back to the car from our happy hour. Martha's gonna drive us. I'm gonna navigate us to the Monorail Hall parking garage, about a mile further down. The concert last night was pretty epic. Glenn Hansard, he's one of my top 5, like, of my era singer-songwriters, balladeers, whatever you want to call it. Him, Jeff Tweedy. I mean, there's a few that are just, they could really write a song and belt it out, and he belts it out just as well as Eddie Vedder can. Tonight we're seeing Andrew Bird, which is going to be on the other side of the spectrum. Andrew Bird is a virtuoso violin player, and we've seen him live 2-3 times. Always puts on just an incredible live show, which is what keeps us coming back. So yeah, we're gonna get on the road here and hop on over to our the Monorail Hall has its own parking garage, so we're just gonna use that just to make it easy to vacate that area after the show. So let's go.
There was a long time ago. This time will take us all. Step out into the garden.
I'll spare you the boring drive home and leave you with this. Seattle might be one of Cascadia's urban centers, but it never really lets you forget where you are. The water, the mountains, the forests. They're always just on the edge of things, shaping how the city moves and how people live within it. And maybe that's what makes this place special. Not that it stands apart from the wild, but that it remains connected to it. Until the next adventure, rock on, Seattle. Rock on.